Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations again. I think I lost my last internet connection and I don't know if I actually recorded that last one, but the last one we made was this duck. So it's going to become a pendant. I'm going to cut it off right there, drill a small hole, and for my jump ring. But I lost the chat last time. Let's see if I can start the chat again. Oops, there it went. Okay. All right, so that's going. Everything looks good on my end. Let's, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. We're running a giveaway for all the subscribers. This is the giveaway prize. It is a beautiful silverware heart pendant necklace. We made these, I made these live. I had never made them until this live. So you can see that too. Learning real time. And hey Zoe. That's my baby girl. All right, so here's our new project. This guy is tiny. Those little tiny toes are tiny. I'm gonna break some blades. So the last time I made these was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I only made 2. The first one I did in silver plate. The second one I did in sterling. I think the sterling one ended up in Brazil, I think. So this one is no 3/0 blade. I think I'm going to try and start with a 4/0. And then I'm going to end up doing the toes with an 8/0 blade, which is the smallest that I can get. I was like a remover when you first made froggies. Remember? Oh, yeah. Let's see. These blades are tiny too. Almost have to break out my glasses. So again, you want to find out which way the blade is cutting. So as you go up and it feels like it's cutting down, that's the correct way that you want them. Let's get this blade on there. Just double check. Welcome back. All right, so we're gonna put this little tiny hole. Zoe says, hi, Tristan. Tristan's my nephew from Florida. All right, so this is a 4/0 blade. I figured I would start there. Let's use some wax. Let me get this zoomed way in here. Wrong way. Okay, let me turn off the autofocus. Okay, so right now I'm going to start at the arms. I'm not going to, maybe I try and turn it around in the holes. It's kind of small. We'll see. So I'm just going to start going towards this leg here. And this is a thin spoon, so that's going to make it cut a little faster. So I got to be careful of how fast I'm cutting and making sure that my direction is good. Small paintbrush. Hi Beth. I always love your stuff. I'm such... The heart's in the way. But I may get a shop soon. That's great. So a little paintbrush gets those shavings out of the way so I can see my line. I don't think I can turn this guy. I'll try. I really don't want to mess up those toes. So I'm gonna go just around the bubbles. It's so small. So right now I'm just basically making a circle around these toes without going outside the lines. We'll come back later and cut those holes out. So if you were saving this for like a pair of earrings, you would want to cut out the holes, cut out the toes right now. Yeah, the duck's right there. Right on the desk. It's right here.
Oh.
Alright, so this saw's kind of binding up on me a little bit whenever you're making these sharp turns. I kind of hold back.
So you're not making like cutting out to make like pendants or anything?
Yeah, that's gonna be a pendant.
Okay.
Yep. So it's upside down.
Yes.
And we're gonna put a hole right there. And then we'll put a jump ring and then the necklace.
This side
will
has
go
to be
through.
really polished. It's the same. This side gonna be like that too.
Yeah, the back's gonna be polished too.
Oh. What is all this?
Chain.
Yeah.
It's for a necklace. So it's real important to get the corners on this guy, because that's what really defines it. So again, I'm kind of pulling back on the blade and turning at the same time to get that sharper edge. I love these thinner spoons. They're cutting like sterling.
It's a lot harder to cut the other spoons.
Yeah, some spoons are really hard.
Yeah.
Robert, pretty incredible one-off work you do, fella. Much respect to you. Always look forward to seeing your work. Thank you so much, Robert. I've been watching some of my videos, and whenever I just reply, it feels kind of weird, so I'm reading them all out. Okay, so turn the corner on this. I'm pulling backwards again. So I'm still pulling backwards as I turn. Now I'm going to start my forward line again. It's straight. That's his body.
Well, yeah,
His body's kind of round. Yeah. Because this is so thin, you've really got to watch your line, watch your saw blade, because one pull can get you way out of line, and then you'll be chasing it, trying to get it back, trying to get your proportions right. This is a hard part. Okay, I wish I could get you guys in here closer. So here's what I'm looking at right now. If I can try not to break this blade. So I'm right down there, getting ready to go around that corner. The foot there is so thin, the leg part, I really have to be careful. Cutting into the black is fine. So if you have to come back and go into the black to be able to turn around, that's fine, because the black is leaving anyways. But we want this spot here to be nice and straight, because there's not a lot to clean. So I'm way in, not super far into the foot, but I'm going to start making my turn to go around the toes. And what I'm doing...
Jeremy, is this like the polisher?
Yep.
You want me to polish the other side?
No, not yet. So what I'm doing, trying to get that, is where the white touches in between the toes, I'm trying to make a circle around that piece. So just the toes are left. And we'll go back and get the toes after. So this is just going to be a circle. I just want to barely touch the blade on the inside of those where the white meets the foot. As you get closer to the edge and the end, it gets a lot thinner. So you want to really watch how much you're cutting. It's really easy to get one cut way off. Okay. Wax this up. I got a hard turn to go back straight. So I'm pulling back on the saw, slowly rotating my saw. Still pulling back. Okay, so I've got to the flat part of the foot. Get my line going straight.
Oh.
Broken blade number 1.
Oh, that sucks.
There.
How many blades do you have?
Hundreds.
Oh.
Yeah. The smaller blade size you go, the more you break. And these are all just cheap blades from eBay that I got.
Good job, though.
Yep. When I run out, I'll probably switch over to the lasers or the nanos. Yeah, I think they're nanos. So this just goes back in our hole. See, I want to try and put it back in the direction that we were cutting.
You could put it back in the hole it started from, just trace it there.
Yeah, and then I gotta go all the way around though. Okay, it went in there. So I'm still in the leg. Alright, so I had to start back here. Looking good. Why is the video look like it's missing frames? I'm not sure. I was looking at that earlier. So we want to get back to our spot really easily. We don't really want to cut anything else. There we go. Now we're back to where we were. Blade is pinching again. You don't really want to force it. There we go. Get it nice and straight. You don't want to be at an angle here. That's how I broke the last one. Turn to make that heel. If you feel your piece kind of binding up on you, I should become a surgeon. No, I shake really bad. Way too bad for that. It only looks like it's good because I've got like 3 points of anchor. Make that turn. Do a little bit more lube. Beeswax. So this part coming up is kind of hard too. Because this leg is bent. So I have this white part here to where that leg is bent. So I cut farther into question, should I be turning the piece itself or turning the hearts in the way and not the blade? You're supposed to turn the piece and keep your blade straight. I kind of do both. A lot of times if I'm turning my saw, I'll try turning the piece and my saw at the same time. Sometimes I'll just turn the saw so I can keep my piece level and then just use the blade, but I'm not going around real big corners like that. I'm just turning it a little bit.
I didn't even realize that you smooth.
Yeah, those are my ring mandrels. So right now I'm cutting into the leg so that I can turn around.
I love this ring you gave me quite a while ago.
And anytime you're making a turn, try and wax your blade. So I'm pulling backwards and turning. And now I'm going to come back and go towards that white again.
Like 4 degrees.
Yeah. Just wait till tomorrow.
Oh, it's 6 degrees hot tonight. That's crazy.
So there I turned my blade, and now I started turning my piece.
It's gonna snow in 34 minutes. So.
Yeah, on my phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not.
I mean, that's one of the predictions.
All right, so
Let me are these away?
yeah, there's trash there on the right.
Any nails, bro.
Yeah, those are tiny. Okay, coming up to the toes, I gotta slow down. Start to make my circle. Pulling backwards. So I just barely want the edge of the blade to touch the white in between the toes. Paper's starting to come up.
You wanted me to put this away?
Yep, there's a whole trash can down there.
I don't see how these cut. They're like nothing. Perfect. Oh, they got like that.
Yep, they got little tiny teeth. Yep, until one time you get your finger too close to the edge.
Oh no.
And then you slice through your finger.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yep. Been there, done that.
I was concerned about coming up here because I was cleaning in our backyard and we were moving a hot tub. And my mom moved the hot tub like right over my big toe.
Oh no.
And like half the toenail came up and started like it flipped over and started stabbing my foot.
Ouch.
Like and the toenail like went into my skin. So whenever I put shoes on and socks on, it started going deeper into my skin and bleeding. It was terrible.
Ouch. That sounds like it hurt.
Yeah, it did hurt.
So here you can see the piece again where the saw blade is actually past that corner. Let me see if I can turn it a little bit.
But I take pain like differently than the others. I just get like upset or I just get like really angry.
So I'm going to turn around out here in the middle of the black. Okay, so I've got my blade turned around. I'm going to come back and get right to that white again.
I'm gonna get a drink real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a drink all day.
Again, I'm cutting into the body so I can turn around. The black's all disappearing anyways, so we don't have to worry about it. I'm still pulling back on the saw blade as I turn, and then once I get in line with where I want to go, now I'll get this solid and start to go forward towards that curve. There we go. Now we're into the arm. Got a little thin there on the arm, so I'm gonna go back and just kind of take off that edge. I don't like that sound. It means paper's coming up. It's not glued. I'm gonna bring my blade back a little bit and try and glue this some more. Hopefully I can do it without breaking the blade.
What's up?
Part of my paper was coming up. Again, I'm just making a turnaround, touching the white. So this is a 4/0 blade. I can smell the sweetness of that.
The reason my mom and dad don't like it is because it's kind of got its own flavor. It's called taurine, I think. Is that the flavor of it? Taurine?
Oh, taurine?
Taurine.
That's one of the ingredients.
They can't stand the smell of it. I had one in the car like quite a few times. And I was like, oh, I can smell that from here. And I'd be like all the way in the backseat.
So I went back into the body, and now I'm coming back out to the head. We're almost done with the major part.
Oh.
Alright, so getting to that one, pulling backwards. Start my forward. I don't like it when it pinches like that.
Hey Jeremy, do you ever do like giveaways or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. That necklace right there, right here. I just made that for our 5,000 follower giveaway.
Wow.
So we just hit 5,000 followers. So if you haven't yet, go to that video and subscribe and leave a comment, and you'll be registered just by leaving a comment. There's the long video of me making it, and then there's the short video that's for the giveaway. You want to comment on that short video.
I was like 7 or 8 years old. The only thing I wanted to do was be a YouTuber. Like, Mom, I'm so good at video games. I'm gonna feel like a millionaire. I make YouTubers. And she's like, the only thing you're gonna be doing YouTube with is your toys. I'll record your Transformer toys.
Okay, so
It's funny.
we're at the end of the piece now. We're gonna join those together. Boom. We got a frog. Little tiny froggy. So he still looks like he has hands, or toes, but he don't. So here's where we're at. So we still have to get out the toes. So right now I'm gonna switch over to my 8/0, which is a lot smaller blade. because I actually want to turn in there. It just makes it look a lot nicer to me. It doesn't feel like an 8/0 blade. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start on these little toes. So I'm putting my blade right up against the wall. Yep, and we'll go through these later with a pointed diamond bit to kind of make them back round again. But right now we're just trying to get in there.
Is that one thicker or thinner?
Thinner. This is the smallest they make, so I'm pulling backwards as I make this tip. So I'll be pulling backwards the entire way as I'm cutting.
Yeah.
So I'm not going forward because I don't want this to be...
Wait, is the thing already like out?
What?
The frog?
The frog? Yeah, the frog's right here.
Okay.
Oh. Run away, frog!
The frog's trying to get away from us. Dang, Jeremy, that's nice.
I'm gonna break a blade. So still pulling backwards. Okay, and now I'll go back out.
Typically, you can make a pendant out of this, but I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I've made earrings out of them before. So you can see the little round holes right there. That's just from turning the blade around. That's given me that nice round shape at the end.
I could see two of these frogs being earrings.
Still pulling backwards as I turn it around. Put some wax on it. This is so scary. These tiny thin blades. Oof. Check the backside. Sweet. All right, we got one more toe. All of these little tiny toes.
Yeah.
Are you using the Pepe Nano blades? Not yet. These are just cheap ones from eBay. These 8/0 blades were decent blades, but no, nanos are what I'm going to replace the rest of this with. Luke, good job, Jeremy. Pretty hearts in the way. Place the pierce. These toes, man. They are nerve-wracking for me. So you can see the spoon twisting on me. So if I get a little twist, I feel the blade bind right here. Watch what happens whenever I take my whenever I take my fingers off of it. See how it twisted? That's the twist that's coming from my blade trying to turn around. That's what that's what will break your blades the fastest. So again, the whole time I'm pulling back and making that turn, I'm letting the length of the blade make that circle until I get back around to the front. So he's binding up and let off that pressure. There we go. I'm outside. You can look around the back side. See my little holes? Nice round.
Get all the feet in?
Nope, that was 1 foot.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 more to go. So the last time I did this, I think I broke at least a dozen blades. That's why I said I would never make more. But I've had a lot more practice since then.
There's this massive 3D printer that literally prints 3D houses, like full house.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's crazy. It said it only costs like $11,000 to do.
One more toe. Where are we at? 37 minutes. We've been streaming for.
It feels a lot longer than that.
Well, we just did the other one. I don't think it recorded all of it. I think I lost connection. Again, I'm just pulling backwards and just letting that blade come around. So it's like just catching on one side of the blade. I don't want to cut forward at all. Another toe. This is the tedious part.
You know what you should do, Jeremy? You should start doing like the obsidian working and meet love knife and stuff out of like they do that.
Yeah, my OCD is a little gotta make sure I'm really focusing on on one thing. Otherwise, I squirrel off so fast. Yeah, I really want to do some lapidary work, but there's so much of that, like I can see it in the stone, but I'm like, nope, stick with silverware. I've done a lot of stone wrapping with silverware. Okay, something's going on with this toe. Oh, I'm okay. There we go. So because that toe is so close to the other one, I'm going to take some liberty and I'm going to move this toe. So I just took the toe a little bit further to the side and a little bit further out to still keep my proportion. So now we'll make the round.
You know what's funny, Jimmy?
Hmm?
You know, llamas, like, puke up their organs and dink them out their mouth to cool them off. Have you ever seen those videos? Look.
No. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I'll stick with silverware. What was that? Okay. There's another toe, and I think this paper is lifting up on me. So I'm using my fingernails to hold down the paper. Get our last toe on this side. I'd like to place an order of 50, please. Yep. I will send you the $2.5 million bill. PayPal or Venmo? Check in the back. Come on, focus. It's right in the middle, dude. Tiny little toeses. I'm wondering if you could put some turquoise granules where the cutout is. That would look really cool. You'd probably have to put on a back plate. Let's see. Going on to this foot. I've done ones with brass. Let's see. I know I got a couple in here. Here's a mermaid I did. So I pierced that out, but I put a brass backplate on to kind of really make her pop out, the contrasting color. But if you did like inlay on the top of that, I could see that working. I think it would be really cool if I could do that in just each one of those round toes. That would look really cool. Wanting to bind up a lot on me. Just really got to be conscious of that. Every time it binds, you can break that blade. Yeah, the inlay normally has a back plate to hold it. The hard part, I think, you'd have to have some tiny pieces. on a lot of those, they have you have to be able to sand down the top to make it flush. With a spoon, that would be pretty hard. Because you don't want to take all the silver plate off of the spoon. You're almost there. Use the force, Luke. Yep, almost there. The trick for this is I'm pulling the saw backwards. If you push forward, you're just going to cut farther into it. This one might be too close. I have no idea how that worked. I'll have to clean it up a little bit, but it's hard to clean it up with the paper on it because you can't quite see exactly what's cut. So this is our last foot. Channeling the force. Slow down. Three more toes. Another thing I'm doing that I was just thinking about is as I'm cutting, I'm going what's the frog? Do I have another frog? Oh, yeah, here's a frog. As I'm cutting, whenever I go up one of the fingers, I'm actually coming in from one side and cutting across to the other side, and then I make my curl. That's how I'm getting those round shapes. And then whenever I come out, it comes out facing the other direction, and I can take that little piece off later on with the diamond bit. Can't see. More toes. I almost broke a blade there. Oof. Come on, you're so close. All right, we're on to the last toe. This is a tiny toe. Tiny. Like I don't have a whole lot of working room.
You got this.
Don't think I have enough room to turn. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna be really close. Yeah, I'm not gonna go for that whole thing. Just gonna try and take it out like a V, and then we'll put the tip of the diamond bit in there to try and get that hole. We don't want to weaken this one piece here too much. Okay, so thank you, Ron. Congratulations on 5,000 subscribers. Absolutely great.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's great. Did I miss toes on this one? 1, 2, 3. Nope, it only shows 3. Okay, so here's what the back looks like. I think it came out pretty good. So let's get this burnt off of here. Will it peel off? Some of it will peel off. I'm just gonna torch it. Do do do. Come off there. There we go. Quench this guy off. Now we can start finish work. I don't think we broke a 4-aught blade, but we didn't break an 8-aught blade yet. Okay. I'm excited about that. So the toe right up other side. Well, both of them, both those inside thumbs are, there's almost no gap to be able to make an actual turn in there. So now we'll go through and make sure all of our lines are straight. and make sure we have nice definition. I really like how the toes came out. Came out good. See if I can bring you guys back here. Unfortunately, this is as close as I can get the camera. I might get a little closer. Turn the autofocus off. All right, so what I'm doing right now, actually, you know what? I'm gonna open up these holes here just a little bit more. Okay, so I like the look of all of my toes. Okay, that one's good. One's pretty good. This one right here needs cleaned up just a little bit. So be careful getting your blade back in here. Oftentimes the gap is small, so you'll actually bend the piece of metal in between the two. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take off the 8/0 blade. I'm going to put my 3/0 back on. 3. Yeah, I'll put the 3 on. And what I'm going to do with the 3 is use it to make the gap bigger between the toes. So these are all just straight lines. What I did whenever I was cutting these out, oh, I'm waiting for it to focus, it needs to be me. So you can see how thin those lines are, because I just made the loop, or just made the round. So now I'm going through and I'm going to cut straight down each one of those lines to the toe, and that's going to open it up to give it more thickness, look more like toes. So these are all just straight. I could probably even go with like a 4 or something. Oh, be careful that you don't go too hard, because you don't want to cut all the way down to the end of the toe. All right. So I'm only going like 3 or 4 teeth here. I don't want to make that hole too big. Let me see if I turn this around and put the blade in backwards. That's better. Put the blade in the backwards in the hole. I always knew that you do fine in life. Thank you, Kay. So put the blade in backwards, and I'm just gonna open this up just a little bit. There we go. Let's see if that works for the next one. Yep, that one works. Oop. All right, so let's try this one. Yep, I'm gonna have to go in forwards first to create my hole. There we go. Just kind of work it back out. Let's get that one done. That way I can get my blade in there backwards. Okay, now I'm going to get my blade in backwards again. There we go. Little tiny detail work. So I think I've got like someone's at my back door. I think I'm only going like 4 or 5 teeth right now. Okay, there's that one. Gonna take down this side. This little tiny one here. Just trying to make that one just a little bit to look like a toe instead of a line. That. Let's go to this foot. We're almost done here. Just barely any pressure. Come on. Yeah, that 3/0 blade gives us just enough size to get in there and turn around. This is nerve-wracking. So this one caught as it was going in, so I'm going to go down that side. Oh, last one. Actually, that one doesn't look too bad. Okay, so we'll go to the last foot. This one has 3 toes. go out this side. So I'm pinning my blade against the wall here. This time I'll go to this side so I can take off the inside. And the last one. Go, I'm happy with that. Thanks again for your tutorials. You're a great man. Thank you for hanging out with me. Alright, so here we go. Let's put you on the front. So we got toes and it looks like fingers too. There's the back side. So now we just clean it up. Autofocus back on. All right, so let's clean this guy up. And I'm gonna use my sanding disc like we did before. So let's start. So these sanding discs are linked in the description. So that one, we're gonna start off with 120 grit. This is pretty much just gonna take off the edges from the saw. Want to watch how hard you're pressing. You should just be making a real light outline around the outside edge. And then we'll turn it over and get the back. Same thing, just barely getting the edge. The less we have big grooves, the better. We don't have to go through so many different layers or different grits of disc to be able to get a final product. Alright, everything's smooth. Year 2027 legend has it that Jeremy's still cutting frog toes. Yeah. Yep, frog toes. I don't like them. Alright, so that's a 320 grit. All right. Next we'll go up to 800. This is where we're at right now. So you can see I'm just going around the outside edges. I haven't even started polishing the rest of it yet. But there's no rough edges here. And this time with the 800, I'm going to go after the rest of this fire scale. Or, yeah. And make sure you're trying different angles. Sometimes you can get the lines out that way. And if you can't get it out, blend it in with everything else. The super glue is definitely better than the Hod Pod or the Mod Pod. A little harder to get off some of it though. I don't see any plate loss yet though. So I'm using the 800. Not taking off a lot. There we go. That part's gone. One little bit there. Just be careful of how hard you're pushing. I try and get it to where I just get a tiny impression. Alright. I'm just gonna even this all out. Alright, so there's this. It's just rough. So we'll just buff this out real quick. I'm going to use my red rouge here, and then I'm going to use the white in this one. And get some of this stuff off my screen. There we go. Froggy. With all his little toes. Here's the back. So next, I will just chop this guy up here. And then I'll drill a hole and put a jump ring through, and it's ready for the tumbler. Get my glasses off here. I lost one of the nose pieces. Yeah, that's the second most tedious one I've done. The hardest one that I printed out. No, I didn't print it out. I did, huh? Nice. This guy right here was tiny little holes. I've done this tree of life. That was all of those branches were using the 8/0, and it was just a single line in. It was so tiny. And then I made one. I don't have it here, but it was a heart, but inside it was love written in cursive. Yeah, I'm not doing that one again. So we did a frog today, and we did a duck today. One order done. So if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe. Like I said, we are running that 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Let's see if I can do this without touching it with my fingers. This is the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. And if you want to watch the video, you'll see me learning in real time what not to do and what to do. I got some people wanted to see something new, something around the holidays, and something inspirational. So I figured I would do something that I've never made before, and I did it live, which was crazy because normally I figure out what I'm going to do and then the easiest way I can do that. And this time it was kind of try some different ways and get it done. And it took less time than I thought it was going to, which was a bonus. When you get a break, can you show me that copper mermaid again, and how did you apply it? So, where's the line? Oh, there he is. So this is the mermaid. The back is brass. Oh, it's not really gonna make a difference. Here we go. So I cut out the mermaid, and then on the back I cut out a piece of brass. It is really, really thin. The first couple of ones I did with copper, like a copper pipe. I cut it in half, flattened it out, and then soldered that on. This is tiny. I don't know how many mil it is, but it's really thin. But I soldered it on there. I took and I had a whole bunch of clamps all the way around this thing. I had flattened solder in between it, and I had flux down also. You want to be real careful of that because any excess is going to flow into your piece. Did I do that with the lion? This is a lion I still have. So it's two lions that you might know. So right there in the middle is a little baby lion. And this is the same thing. It's a brass plate soldered on the back. When did I make this one? Should have a birthday. Logo, no birthday. Logo, no birthday. I'd have to go back in the pictures. It was probably 5 years or so ago that I made these. Ish, maybe 6. I listed them a few times, and the other day whenever I got out the bus to display the necklace, I found these guys. I also found this stone that I did. Let me take it out of the bag. I really liked, somebody did this design. They cut out the back, but they left little tabs in. Whoop, and those tags get bent up, and then they go right over the stone. So it's the spoon that's still holding the stone. And this is Bumblebee Agate. And then I found this piece on that same bust. This was one of my first sterling silver pieces. This one should have a birthday. Nope, just a stamp. So this one is cut out on the back. I cut out a heart for the top stone and a star for the bottom lapis, not lapis. So the top is moonstone. I got 2 copper balls on there, and then the bottom the word is gone from my memory. It's pretty. Yeah, you know what it is. Let's see. That goes back there. That goes back there. But it was kind of fun going back and seeing those old pieces I made. Yeah. Any other questions? Keep watching. This was my first attempt at a heart. But whenever I went to put them together, one's forward and one's backwards. So you gotta do them back to back instead of front to back. Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Like I said, go to that short video, and after subscribing, if you haven't yet, leave a comment. That's all you got to do to register. I'll use a third-party app. It just picks usernames randomly from everybody who commented. And that drawing, that will happen on the 27th of February. 2024. So in a little over a week. Yeah. So thanks for joining me. I will see you guys next time. You have a great night too. Yeah, vintage pieces. Yep, I'll have to go back. I know there was a certain year I started dating them, so I'll have to go back and find that. That is after I got my logo, so that means it's less than 8 years old, 7 years old. But have a good night, have fun, and I will see you next time.